Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, everyone. Let me first of all say it's good to see my friend Lee Lipton. Congratulations on your nomination. You're going to make a terrific ambassador. Thank you for serving. Mr. Garcia, let me turn to you. It's good to see you again. Congratulations on your nomination as well. When you and I met previously, we discussed the growing strategic importance of Africa to U.S. national security. As I've said repeatedly on this committee, Africa sits on the front lines of strategic competition with China in the 21st century. China represents the most significant long-term strategic challenge facing the United States. And the United States should confront China region by region, especially in Africa. But to compete effectively, we first have to recognize where our own approach has previously fallen short. U.S. policy has treated Africa as if it were borderless, a single undifferentiated space. That approach does not reflect reality. Africa is a continent of sovereign states, each with its own interests, priorities, and strategic value. We should be engaging African partners the same way we engage partners anywhere else in the world, country by country, interest by interest, partnership by partnership. That's how we counter Chinese influence and advance American interest on the continent. Can you explain, Mr. Garcia, in concrete terms, why Africa matters to U.S. national security and to our economic interests today?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. Africa is a continent that is rich, not just with amazing human capital, but also is endowed with incredible natural resources, as well as a people that, when they work with us together, we form a really strong team together. I've been blessed with the opportunity to travel to Africa for the better part of 15 years, and in my time there, the locations that I have been to where there have been joint industrial enterprises together with African nations, it's an incredibly different Africa than perhaps a neighboring state. In my opening statement, I think I summarize Africa is at a great inflection point for the benefit of Africa and the United States interests. And if confirmed, I look forward to working with African nations on industrial and rare earth minerals, on energy, and the fundamentals of building a greater America with Africa partners.
Now, if you're confirmed, how will you ensure that our Africa policy aligns with the broader U.S. efforts to compete with China globally?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. The President's national security strategy has been very clear in terms of, this is a continent in transition from aid to trade. And I think that's a fundamental starting point with the relationship. And if confirmed, I would ensure that our industries, the health enterprises in the United States, the innovation that we can bring to the continent is unleashed with our partners that choose to do business with us.
Thank you. Let me turn to another topic. I'm deeply alarmed that the United Kingdom is prepared to transfer the Chagos archipelago to Mauritius, a decision that would jeopardize U.S. national security by exposing military operations to China and potentially restricting military access to Diego Garcia. Diego Garcia sits at the center of the Indian Ocean and has been one of America's most important power projection platforms for decades, enabling operations across the Middle East, Africa, and the Indo-Pacific. Uninterrupted access to forward basing is foundational to protecting Americans, maintaining a capable deterrence, and defeating our adversaries in times of conflict. Limiting U.S. operational freedom, or creating opportunities for Chinese influence over a critical facility, would hand our adversaries a strategic advantage. This deal is dangerous to U.S. interests. President Trump is absolutely right to be furious with the UK's decision. The UK is taking a serious gamble with the special relationship by putting one of our most vital shared military assets at risk. Do you agree that unfettered U.S. access to Diego Garcia is a vital national security interest of the United States?
Yes, Senator, I do.
Describe the consequences for U.S. national interest if the U.K. moves forward with the Chagos Islands agreement with Mauritius.
Senator, I have not done a deep dive on this issue. I speak from past experience. Having spent time in Diego Garcia, having spent a significant amount of time operating in the North Arabian Sea and the Arabian Gulf, the support that came forward from Diego Garcia was invaluable. We could not have done and supported and projected U.S. strength and U.S. power without Diego Garcia. If confirmed, I commit to working with the committee to look at the issues with regard to our agreements, long-term agreements with the UK to share basing opportunities there.
Thank you.